What's going on, guys? We've got another project for you. This is going to be our South Phoenix project, and let's jump into what we're doing. We are getting ready to have the plumber saw cut a lot of the floor in here. So this is going to turn into a bathroom, and then you'll see on the wall over there it's marked ADA because we're going to have an ADA stall right there, and then we're going to plumb everything if they want to add an extra toilet down the road. And then we've got our markings on the ground, so that diagonal line that's underneath the Makita box is going to be a doorway. And then we've got a sink over there along the wall, which this is our wall, those double lines right there. And we don't have any area for all the waste to drain, so that is where we get into this guy and what's marked on the wall with the pump room. So there's going to be a pump that goes inside the wall right there. So as I'm spinning you guys around, sorry, I'm making you dizzy. As everything drains from the toilets, the sink, it's going to all come over here, and that pump is going to send it up into the ceiling, and we've got a waste line not too far away that we're going to tie into. So this will get its own room that will section everything off right there. We're going to end up putting the lights in this room. We'll tie it into the exhaust fan that's already there so that when the light's on, the exhaust fan's on. Same thing, opposite direction. So we'll have lights above us. We'll get those rewired. And then what we're going to do is have a door cut in where my kick hole is right there. So we've got some electrical that we're going to need to rework in this location. But yeah, we'll make all that go away. And then we're going to have, obviously, the wall here. We'll skim coat everything while we're in here because obviously this room has seen better days. But I'm going to take you guys around to the other side. So I'm going to pause the video real quickly. That way I'm just not videoing what's going on in the yard over here. And then we'll take a look at what's going on with our break room side. And we're back. This is going to be the break room. So I'm going to flip you guys around. We've got a big empty room right now. We've got double doors to the rest of the office that we're going to be we're sectioning off this office so that it's going to be separate from the other hallway. We'll be doing some passage lock stuff that doesn't matter. Anyways, we are going to be taking out this carpet. We'll be epoxying the floor in here and then in the bathroom on the other side. And then where you see it marked door right here, that's going to be essentially my kick area was right there on the other side. So we'll put a door in that matches our existing guys. And then we're going to have a bunch of cabinets that go along this wall. So we'll get all those installed. This is essentially turning into a break room. So we're getting this all set up for that. They're going to take care of doing some of the countertop stuff afterwards. So hopefully we'll be able to get some pictures and videos of that after we're done with it. But we're going to epoxy the floor, get those cabinets in, cut the door in. We've got obviously the plumbing that's going to be coming to this side, and then we'll be redoing the rubber cove base at the end, and then we'll have paint that goes on in here. So there's some miscellaneous items along the way, but should be a fun one. The plumbers have a decent amount of work with the concrete cutting, getting all their stuff run, but yeah, we should have a pretty fun project ahead of us, so hang tight for the progress, I guess.
All right, guys, we have a quick time lapse. We're going to be framing the area in between the two bathrooms and then the closet around the plumbing area right there. So we're using wood studs, and a lot of times for larger projects, they'll call out steel studs for the framing. In this case, we're allowed to use wood studs because it's a smaller area and it's completely enclosed by drywall, essentially, in the areas that we're working. So the fire code is met and all that good stuff. So getting our layout done where the two walls are going to come together. We're going to walk through some of the details with the plumber on finalizing where everything's going, what everything's going to look like, and then we're going to work on the layout for where the two walls are tying in. And then, as per usual, our GoPro wants to die in just a second, but we'll show you what it looks like right about now.
All right, guys, we are back with another update on our big industrial project. So we've got framing done. And to back up just a little bit, this is our pump for all our plumbing that we put inside a closet. We've got our door that'll swing out so that they can do the maintenance on it because it needs to be serviced every 6 months. Now, I think we talked about this before, but the reason why we're doing that is because we didn't have any natural tie-in for the plumbing. So what we did, I'll have you step in here. And if you remember from like 2 seconds ago in the video, but a while ago for us, we've got the drains all coming down to this guy over here. We've got the sinks that drain right there, and then those shoot up and over in the ceiling, which you can't see. Right now, that is shooting up, I want to say at least a good 10 feet in that ceiling. It's a huge industrial space, so they've got tons of room up there. It's traveling 40 feet, so we need 10 feet of fall to keep that 1/4 inch per foot of fall. If my math is correct, and don't check me on it because it's hot and a long day. Anyways, this guy right here is the vent pipe for these guys over here. We can't just have our vent pipe over there, so that's why they've got this going up in the ceiling, got it venting out of space, and we're going from there. So we're starting, like I think we talked about this, we've got one toilet that'll be going here, so we've got water right there, but they've already plumbed it for a second one whenever they want to do it. And I think essentially we're moving towards they're getting two because they've already done all the work for two. Anyways, moving on. We've got blocking for our stalls, so that's why they've got it opened up in here in different places, and you'll see the blocking going around. So we're prepped for that. We're gonna end up opening up the walls a little bit more for the electricians because I've got an Insta-Hot circuit that's gonna go right here for this side, Insta-Hot that goes right there for the other side, and we've got some wiring that they need to clean up that you can see in the wall over there. So that'll get cleaned up. We've got some lighting to do, so we'll have our switch here that controls these guys. Currently it's on the wall behind the camera. And then we'll have some lights that get installed in here. The other thing is we're going to pretend that this HVAC vent is over here because there's no reason to double blast that area and not give this one anything. So this is our door right now. We're waiting on the electricians to do their thing. We got their proposal signed a little late, so they're not behind. That's on us, but we're moving forward with the project, keeping things going. So we're going to pause real quick. We'll move to the other side, show you what we've got going on over there, and then that'll be our update. So give us 1 second. And we're back. We've got our cabinets in right here. You might be thinking, that is a really crappy countertop. Don't worry, we're getting a real one afterward. We just got the plywood on there to protect our cabinets. We've got, obviously, the acoustic ceiling that they've got to go up and do all that drain work that we were talking about, 10 feet up, and it's not fun, and I'm sorry for the plumber on this one, but work's got to get done. Anyways, we've got the drywall cut out to the exact size over here. We're going to try and keep most of the drywall work on the opposite side of the wall. So even some of the stuff behind the cabinets, we're going to end up just attacking from the other side of the wall, so we minimize it over here. And we can keep the project moving forward on this side as we've got a lot more work going on over there. So we've got microwave circuits that will land here. We've got coffee circuit that will land here. This is our sink cabinet, so that our Insta-Hot's going to be on the other side of that. We have our thermostat moved right there, so those holes, if the camera can see it, are going to get filled. If not, don't worry, they're holes and they're going to get filled. Keep your minds out of the gutter. Other than that, we should be done for the day. We'll be back with a little bit more. Plumbers are wrapping up their stuff. Electricians are going to get in, do their thing. We've got epoxy floors coming up. We've got paint going on, different odds and ends. So we'll keep you guys updated as we go through. All right, guys, we're getting real close to the end of this project. And usually I like to do a final big reveal, but just because the restroom that we're wrapping up is the ladies' room, I don't know what kind of access we're gonna get to film it later. All of that feels weird to just say right now. So we're gonna film what we've got, and then if we can't film what's over there later, you get the picture of what we did. So we're gonna start in the break room. We're still waiting on the epoxy for the floor, but we've got our countertop on the cabinets, put all the handles on. Got the sink in, everything's stainless steel essentially. Got all our outlets in the back right here. They're gonna have a countertop they're putting in right there, and then they'll move in their fridges, water stuff, all that good stuff. So right now, one of the things I think we had talked about, we'll spin around over here, is these doors have a sign that says alarm set, do not open. We're gonna get some super official signage, but these are, I think they're called essentially like school locks. So you can always get out this way. You can always go through the door this way. That's why it's your exit, your emergency exit's right there. but we can key it from the other side to where no one can come in this way. The reason why is two separate companies in the same building. They're trying to keep things separate. Now, you might be thinking, and we may have already addressed this in the video, these people can't come in, but these people can go to that side. That's why we have the alarm set from the other side. If they go out this way, then the alarm's gonna go off, and then they'll know people are in their space. So we've got that all done, got those handles swapped out, and then we'll head over to what we've got going more on the fun side in the restroom area over here. Now, I can't remember exactly where we left off on the update. I think it was with the framing. So all the drywall's done. We got done with the painting, doing some of the cleanup in here. Floors are getting epoxied like we talked about. So obviously they're not finished, and then there's no rubber cove base for that same reason. But everything's been cleaned up. We've got the new door, obviously, that we're kind of staring at right there. We've got that one and then two others. So we'll come on in here. Talks about this is our plumbing closet, so that's the pump that'll send everything up and out. They can do their maintenance in there, so want to make sure obviously the door size is big enough for them to do that, but we keep everything accessible in here. So new door here, and then this is what is essentially the women's room. So we've got toilet here, toilet there, all the grab bars to make sure everything's ADA compliant. Everything, the stalls are the correct size, stuff like that. And then plumbers wrapping up what they're doing. Today's Saturday, so they're gonna wrap up what they're doing on Monday, but essentially we've got everything done in here. And then if you remember, we had some very, very ugly lights in here before. Now we've got 4 can lights, commercial can lights in this area, and then we've got our vents over here. So if any of the ladies are using this restroom, go to this stall. It'll definitely be the coolest or warmest in the winter. But we've got a different light fixture. We just did a linear one in here rather than doing cans. And then we added the air vent right there. So both the spaces are conditioned. We're able to just branch off of the one that was over there. It's not a lot of square footage, so we were able to just kind of rob a little bit from that system and do all of that. So like we said, there's some final details to be done, but we don't want to be, can I go video the ladies' room? Because that doesn't sound cool to anyone. So you get the picture of what's going on. We're gonna ask you to use your imagination to fill in the blanks for the rest of it, but we're just about done here. So if that's it, we'll see you on the next project. If you've got a short update, Marvel scene at the end, but catch you later. All right, guys, we are at the end of our industrial project. So we've got the break room, bathrooms all set and ready to go. So we'll show you around. We've got the epoxy done on the floor. We've got our rubber cove base, so I'll have Ethan kind of spin around. We've got the 6-inch rubber cove base there, and then we'll continue to rotate over to our signs on our happy door over here. We're not gonna go out there, but you're gonna have to trust us and believe us that it's wonderful and all those things. There's an alarm right here. It's just a noise alarm because there's people that are on the other side of this wall that are a separate company, so they just wanna make sure that there's no one going through, and if there were to be someone going through, that there's some kind of alarm to say, hey, like we need to figure out who's going where. So that's why we have our emergency exit only. We have a door right there on the other side that has the panic push on it so they can get out right there. Another alarm is on there. We did an architectural panel in there as well, and we're probably not gonna go out there to take a look at it. But essentially, instead of having glass in the door, it's a steel panel so that no one can just break in and run amok on the weekends or whenever they're not in operation. So we'll continue back this way. Same thing on that door, same alarm system as the other one. Cabinets are done, countertops in. Obviously, they're in full use of the space right now. So we'll step over to the other side. We talked about our pump that is in here, all that good stuff. So that's functioning, good to go. And that is a part of, I know we showed you guys before, most of the bathroom in here. No ladies are working today, so they gave us permission to film in here, but we've got ADA accessible bathroom in here. I'll have Ethan step in. We've got the sink area. We've got an Insta-Hot underneath. We've got an Insta-Hot underneath the other side. So they've got hot water there. And then obviously you can't see where our trenches were from earlier in the video because everything's been epoxied and it turned out really well. So very happy with how everything finished out on this project. So we're gonna be wrapping up in here. We'll be rolling on to the next one, and we'll see you guys on the next video.